I'm Dena Moses, and welcome to Virtual Centipede. One of the things I'm going to do is over the next 9 days, I am going to weave some scarves with you. So each day I am going to show you some part of the process. If you missed the video of the day, we'll have them downloaded on YouTube to share. And here we go. All right. I am going to talk a little bit about looms now, but I will give a live stream where I go through a lot of different looms, talk about similarities, differences, what makes them good for certain things but not others later on the week, and I'm welcome to join you, although I haven't figured out the time for that yet. Okay, why don't you, so what we're going to do is I am going to make, this is similar to the scarf that I'm going to make. And it's got ribbons in it. I don't know if you can see that. The actual colors, this is going to be a little bit different. The actual colors, I don't have this in a scarf. I do have it in a wrap fabric. It's going to have a little bit more purple in it. And the ribbons are going to be more multicolored. Okay? And I am going to use this yarn. And this is called a warping reel. And I'm going to use the warping reel to measure out the threads before they go onto the loom. I'm going to then put those threads onto this loom and thread up the loom and all that good stuff, and then I'm going to weave. I want to show you the basics of a loom and how the warp works. So why don't you come around here? This is a loom. The threads that you see going up and down are called the warp. And then in the shuttle, this black is called the weft. Now, before I ever do anything with this shuttle, there's a whole lot of steps in getting this warp onto this loom. If you look, there's a back beam, the warp comes through, right? Actually, so let's start here. This particular warp has 168 threads running up and down, okay? Every thread goes through the reed, okay? You see, there's the reed, the thread goes through the reed so that they're evenly spaced. The reed is on a beater, and you use the beater to push the weft into place. Then, if you come back here, every thread goes through a heddle, right? These metal things. Sometimes they're string. On this one, they're metal. And that's got a little eye in it, and the thread goes through the eye. And these can be raised to bring the threads up. When you do that, if you look here, you're raising those threads up. These are controlled with my feet through a series of what's called jacks and lambs. And it lifts these up and down in the combinations that I want them to be lifted in. The warp, after getting threaded through the reed, threaded through the heddles, come back around here, and do you see all the layers of paper? The paper keeps every layer of yarn at the exact same length, so you don't have any hills, you don't have any valleys. Everything's going on at the same circumference, so that when it comes off, you have even tension all the way across. Now, this has layers and layers and layers. There's enough on this loom right now to weave 3 more scarves. And then what happens is, as I'm working in the front, I run out of space. I release, there's a series of breaks. This is a braking system. I will release this warp on this beam, bring it up, pull it forward, and then the finished cloth, this is the cloth beam, the finished cloth will go on this beam.